There's no shame in having a Pop-Tart here and there. Some days, like, I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, like, I look so good. Like, and then the next day I'm literally like, oh my God, I'm so fat. Like, we got our pre-workout. Donuts. What are we doing today?
We're gonna go sprint. I'm gonna run real fast.
I'm gonna try to run fast. So sprinting is something that's a little bit newer to me. I'm not super great at it just yet, but essentially our plan for today, we're gonna test our 40-yard dash so we can get a baseline before this next block. Just so I can see if like I improved, and if I did improve, by how much, what's working, what's not working, and so forth. So essentially for today's session, just gonna do some light jogs to warm up. I've been working on a lot of different skip combos, like A skips, B skips. Again, I'm not great at them, so please don't laugh at me, but it is a good warm up, that's for sure. And we're just gonna see how fast my 40 is today. Woohoo!
Yeah, do kicks like that?
I think I did pretty good that time. Last time I was sprinting, you said to drive up higher with my leg.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to work on today. I feel so stiff.
Are you stiff?
I don't know, because I haven't done anything all day. That's what happens when you work from home.
You sit all day? You scream at computers?
I don't scream at computers, you scream at computers. I'm nice and smiley. Let's see it. That's not what mine looked like.
You bad at broad jumps?
Yes, because I don't know what I'm doing. Apparently you're not supposed to go all the way down.
No, what are you supposed to do?
You're supposed to be speedy and quick. Ground contacts are fast.
Are your ground contact very fast?
No, I'm a turtle. I tried to do it faster that time. You need to go out, not up. Out, not up. Okay, out just a little more.
I want you all to know that Erin is really struggling with this right now. One of the things we're trying to do is get Erin faster, because Erin's super, super slow. And when she does something she's not very good at, she gets really angry really quick. So it's fun to poke her buttons because she doesn't like it very much. When you do your plyos once every 3 weeks and then complain about how hard it is, you don't really get better at things. If you want to get better, you got to be kind of consistent. Erin's consistent with a lot of things, but not this.
Now I'm gonna mimic Trevor. No. Oh man. Plyos definitely went subpar after eating shit. I actually think I have some sand in my belly button. They put sand on the field and it's pretty coarse, so eating shit did not feel very good. But there's definitely some things I can improve on, especially just going out and not up on broad jumps. Now we're just gonna go do some builds, and then we're gonna time the 40-yard dash, see how things go. Hopefully that goes a little bit better than the warm-ups and plyos. Last time I tested my 40, I don't think I broke 6. So if I break 6 today, it will be a really good day. But I will say the field was just sanded. There's like a lot of coarse sand out here, so the conditions are a little bit treacherous. So I'm not holding my breath here, but we'll see what I can do. High knees, fast hands. Ready? 593? Woohoo! So I did break 6 according to Trevor's time watch stopwatch skills. Usually when I sprint, I think about floating across the field, but because of the sand, it's like more like sludge. So I feel like each step I was kind of getting stuck. But I'm really happy with a 5.93. That's for sure. That's an improvement. So I guess what we're doing is working. So we'll see what I am testing in like a month or so. See if there's any improvement there. No. Ooh. Okay, well, that concludes the sprinting. Now I have the second part of my workout, and you're going home.
Yeah.
Lucky you. I got big Zerchers today, which will be really fun because I'm a lot better at lifting than I am at sprinting and plyos. But I don't know. I have a single at 90%, right?
3 reps in reserve.
Well, three reps in reserve. So because I use reps in reserve, it can be a lot more loose and flexible, just depending on how I'm feeling. So if I'm feeling good, that means I can go for something bigger. If I am not feeling good, weights will be lower, obviously. So see how I feel, especially after sprinting. Usually after sprinting, I actually feel pretty warm and can hit something a little bit bigger because my body is just like prepped and ready to go. So I'm excited. The trick is not going back to my apartment in the meantime and just going straight to the gym so I have no excuses. I don't get time to rest and potato. I just, you know, an object in motion stays in motion. So we're gonna go to the gym now. All right, so we made it to the gym and we have a heavy Zercher single up first. Whew. I have to work up to a single at 3 reps in reserve. So might be around like 250, 265, somewhere between there. I'm not using sleeves just yet. And to be honest, I wish I could be one of those cute girlies who like works out in their cute little sweatshirt, but honestly, I'm a sweaty mess and this is not gonna cut it. There's literally never a dull moment filming at a commercial gym. Literally like 2 seconds ago, a guy came up to me. He asked me if I was a wrestler, and I was like, oh yeah, I get it. People do Zerchers for like BJJ and stuff, and he's like, no, like you look like a wrestler. And I'm like, he's like, also your voice is super low. Do you take testosterone? I'm like, no, what the fuck? Who asked somebody that? If you're intimidated, just say that. People will ask me a lot if Zerchers like hurt my arms, and the first few weeks of doing them, it definitely wasn't super comfortable. I could literally only do like 95 pounds. 135 was even a stretch, but the more you kind of do it, the more you get used to it. And I've honestly done 225 without the sleeves before, and I haven't had a problem at all. But I just wear them because in the bottom, if I dip forward and it falls onto my forearm, I will get bruises, and they're not super cute. So just like as a comfort thing, and also for aesthetic reasons, they also look kind of cool, right? Anyway, 245. I'm actually gonna call it at 245 today, just because it's like the beginning of my peak for the big Zercher I'll hit in 4 to 5 weeks. I just want to play it safe. It is 3 reps in reserve, and that was probably 3, 4, 5-ish. It's really hard to gauge. So I'm just gonna play it safe, do my back offs at 225, and then hit hack squat and probably be done for today. Now I have some Pendlay rows. I actually forgot about them, so I was so focused on the big Zercher I was hitting. For Pendlay rows, a lot of people will tell you, like, everything has to be slow and controlled. That's correct, like if you're bodybuilding, if you're training for hypertrophy, but not everyone trains for hypertrophy. So my goal is obviously strength and power, and that's going to be reflected in these rows. That's way too easy. I have 2 sets of 6. I had 2 sets of 6 at 2 RIR, so that was like way undershot. Also, straps aren't cheating. Whoever tells you that is weak. Hi. Okay, this is my last exercise, and I only have 1 set. Pro tip, sorry. Good to see you too. Oh yeah, so if the safeties are stopping you from hitting depth all the way, what you can do is you can put a foam roll under your shoulders. That way you can go a little bit deeper. I'll take that for my top set. I lied, I had one more thing. It's leg raises to failure. I've actually never had these in my program for like over 4 years, so this is gonna be really bad. Oh man, they're not even straight leg. Oh, I'm glad that's over. So that's the entire workout. Usually my workouts are super quick and simple. It's very rare that I go over 5 exercises a session. Literally today I only had 4 and I'm gassed. Like, a lot of people think they're not doing enough, but in reality, it's usually not that you aren't doing enough exercises, but rather that the intensity of the exercises that you're doing isn't high enough. Like, you're just kind of spinning your wheels, doing whatever, just going through the motions, but you're not actually taking your sets to the intensity that they need to be taken to see the results that you want to see. So, and now what everyone has come here for, let's talk about the bulk and how that's going and how that's been structured and everything like that. So I started my bulk in January after my last meet. So January, I think 22nd, I competed as a 67.5 in powerlifting. That was when I did my last meet. And to cut into 67.5, I went from 158 in like December all the way down to, I think I weighed in at like 146 on meet day. So it was a really drastic cut, and you know, it just got me thinking that if I want to get strong and I want to be good at this sport, it's not super beneficial to have to cut like that every single time. If you had to fight that hard to make a weight class, like, sure, if you're top 10%, maybe that makes sense, but if you're trying to get stronger, you're trying to grow, if I have to keep squishing myself down into 67.5, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So I decided to bulk up to the 75 kg class. So that's 165. And so since January, I've just slowly added a lot of food. Now, depending on how much volleyball I play per week, I'm usually between like 2,800 if I'm playing a lot of volleyball, sometimes even 3,000. And if I'm not playing a lot of volleyball, usually around like 2,600. So I slowly got there from, my intake was around like 2,100 when I cut into the meet. So it's a lot more calories. It definitely is hard to eat that much food. It feels like a job sometimes, especially like I very much get into the zone easily when I'm working. I freaking love what I do. Like I coach athletes full time, and it's just so easy to just get in the zone and accidentally 5, 6, 7 hours have gone by and I've only had like 300 calories of food. So I've definitely had to be on top of that. I've had to change my eating habits quite a lot. So with my background of bodybuilding, obviously I've gone through several deficits, and you really just get used to the foods that you need for that. So a lot of high volume stuff, high protein, super, like lots of veggies, because you're trying to get a lot of food for a little bit of calories. Like that's the name of the game when you're in a deficit. But now that I'm bulking and struggling to get in all of those calories, I've really had to change my mindset when it comes to food choices. So I find myself, a few hacks that I've gone through is like drinking a lot of my calories and opting for low volume foods. So I'll sneak in like a Pop-Tart here or some Oreos here. Like obviously I'm still getting a lot of healthy foods, like a lot of fruits, veggies, because of the micronutrients, but there's no shame in having a Pop-Tart here and there, especially if it helps you meet your calories for the day. Calories are calories. So that's been a huge, huge change. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is my mindset and how my brain has kind of gotten used to bulking, more or less. So obviously, like when you're bulking, there's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days. Like I was just telling an athlete that I had a meeting with today that some days like I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, like I look so good, like I have an awesome shape, so much muscle, look at that. And then the next day I'm literally like, oh my God, I'm so fat, like my rolls are spilling over, all my clothes are tight. And it's like, it's very much this mind game that you're going back and forth with all the time. So a few things that have really helped me deal with getting bigger. One, getting lots of new clothes. If you don't have clothes that fit, you're not gonna feel good, because nobody feels good when they're kind of like squeezing into things that are a little bit too small. So I literally got almost an entirely new wardrobe. So got a bunch of new workout clothes, things that fit my body, things that I feel good and confident and comfortable in. Second thing is going to be continuing to focus on the positives instead of the negatives. Again, with that bodybuilding background, I'm used to being lean and seeing the shreds and flexing in the mirror and seeing like striations. And now that I'm a little bit softer, like I don't see as much definition, and that is hard to deal with as a bodybuilder. But like I said, with being focused on the positives, what can I think about that really brings out the good stuff in this face? So for me, that's gonna be higher quality sleep, energy for loved ones, showing up for my clients better, eating lots of food. So I have tons and tons of flexibility with my calories to go out, literally eat meals out almost whenever with Trevor. And he really, really appreciates that, because in bodybuilding, things were a lot more strict, obviously. And of course, like the strength gains. So I'm the strongest I've ever been in my entire life. I'm jumping the highest. I am sprinting the fastest, squatting the heaviest. Like the list goes on and on and on. And that's cool because I love strength training, obviously. It makes me feel super empowered, confident, and just like a badass, you know? So that's been really, really good. And instead of just hyper fixating on like the little bit of body fat that I put on my body, I just continue to focus on the positives. So I'm not gonna go on a cut anytime soon. I'm going to stick out this bulk even through the hard days and just continuing on, because bulking is not a slow process. It's not something that's going to happen in, I guess I'm on month 5. So it's a long haul. I'm gonna be in this for over a year at least. If I ever cut again, I don't know. I don't know if I wanna revisit bodybuilding ever. Just because of the phase of life that I'm in. Like when you're in a deficit in bodybuilding and like you're tired, you're not eating a ton, you're depleted as fuck, like it makes it really, really hard to show up for normal tasks in life. Like usually I'm in bed by like 6, I'm kind of like suffering and you're hungry all the time. And with this phase of life I'm in, like building my coaching business and my Instagram and just living life, enjoying life with Trevor, it's a lot more lucrative for me to be in this bulking season in comparison to cutting for another bodybuilding show. So it's going to be a long time before I think about revisiting the bodybuilding stage. So I'm just focusing on getting strength, and that's I'm good with that right now.